Hi, I'm Tony Walsh. I'm a poet from Manchester, also known as Longfella. This is my poem called Another Name for Coal. This goes out for Stan, for Roy, for the process in the temples and for mining communities everywhere with respect. Another name for coal. They have another name for coal. I think it's to do with photosynthesis and all those billions of years of peat bogs and seabeds that were crushed into seams. They have another name for coal. Or maybe it's to do with the thousands of pit ponies who for hundreds of years would haul the loads beneath this green and pleasant land, who never tasted fresh green grass and who never saw the light of day. You have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with the caged canaries, cleaning the feathers and checking for gas and dreaming of their birthright to fly and to soar and to swoop and to love. Loved only by the miners whose lives they would save as they whistled together in the darkest of darks. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with the men and the women and the boys and the girls, barely clothed and sweating and aching and coughing and bleeding, who toiled together for hundreds of years. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with that unspoken feeling, buried beneath layers and strata of grime and bravado and crack and machismo, but there, all the same, that corrosive knot in the pit of your stomach every day as the cage door closes and you drop into the bowels of this beautiful earth. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with countless families shifted around. He's on 6-2-2-10, night shifts me duck, shush, or you wait your dad again and then you'll know about it. It's a good job he's half deaf with you bloody lot. Curtains closed on a sunny afternoon. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with all those hopes and those dreams that were buried as nought. I worked hard to make damn sure that no son of mine, but there's just now else down for you, that I can see, son. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with the women, stronger than pit props, holding down jobs and shoring up families and households and communities. No to lift a bloody finger round here. And for Mother's Day they got me, for Mother's Day they got me some tea towels. Bless them. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with communities on which the sun set when the fossil fuels went the way of the dinosaurs, or when the truth became uneconomical, or when their purpose was taken on purpose. You have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with the brass bands silenced and the banners furled away. Or when the number counted out is less than the number counted in, or when the rescuers try, but can't reach them. You have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with those things that doctors use for viewing chest x-rays. How many simple flicks of that switch, then the harshest of lights cast on lungs full of shadows. I'm afraid that I've got some bad, afraid that I've got some bad news, Mr. Young. You have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with generations of men, scrubbing in tin baths in front of fires built from love, bone weary from the days and the weeks and the months and the lives in the dark and the wet and the heat and the noise, to put coal in the grates of this place called Great Britain. And they called us the enemy within. They have another name for coal. Maybe it's to do with Aberfan in 1966 when 116 children were killed, when the whole school was crushed by a man-made moving mountain of filth as they sang all things brightened, all things brightened, all things bright and beautiful. They have another name for coal. They have another name for coal. They have another name for coal. You call it buried sunshine.